everyone. It's Kiwi Whispers. Thank you for joining me on this video. It snowed here just recently. As soon as it started to snow, I ran and grabbed my camera and just set it up by the window. And of course, while the video was recording, I had to go outside and try it out for myself. It's actually one of the first times that I can remember where I've been out in the snow while it's snowing. The first time I ever saw snow was when I was very little, maybe 3 or 4 years old, but I don't really remember it. There are photos of it, but I don't have the actual recollection of it in my memory. So it was a unique experience for me to go outside while the snow was falling from the sky. When I was in Canada in 2018, during a hike that we went on, there was some snow up on the mountain, but it wasn't actually snowing at the time. I scooped some of the snow up and threw it up in the air. I tried to get a whispering Canadian to take a photo of it for me, but it looked like I was just throwing golf balls in the air. I think there's something just very peaceful about watching it snow outside. And I had to get a hot cup of tea in my case, and came back inside and sat at the window and drank my hot tea. So, Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2020. I truly hope that it will be a wonderful year for you. I'm excited to see what happens with my year ahead. Last year was very interesting, full of all kinds of new experiences. And I guess as a bit of an update to what's kind of going on with where I've been is I am now allowed to work and live permanently in the US. So I have got myself a part-time job. I actually did have 2 part-time jobs, but I found that one was sufficient for now, and the other job kind of clashed with the hours that I was getting with the one that I've kept. It's kind of like a seasonal job, but it's turned into part-time work. Yeah, I'm really pleased with it. And it's certainly a nice feeling getting back into the workforce. Although it was quite strange going from being self-employed for the last 8 years to working for somebody else, and having like rest break times and lunch breaks, clocking in and out. I haven't had to do that since my first after school job that I had. So it's interesting, but it's actually quite fun. I'm enjoying it, and interacting again with work peers, workmates, I would call them. And actually in probably 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks from now, my wife and I are taking a trip back to New Zealand. And I'm really excited. We're going to see my family, and I'll get to show my wife around where I grew up and all the sights that I enjoy seeing down there. So we're really looking forward to that. No doubt I'll update you about that in a future video once we are back. It will be interesting going from the very cold weather that we have here to when we're in New Zealand. It will be the peak of summer. So it'll be fun going from like the snow that I've seen, that you can see in the video, to probably walking on the beach, wearing jandals, which are, what do they call them in the US? Sand shoes. Flip-flops is Australian, I think. No, flip-flops is here. I can't remember. Somewhere calls them thongs. I think that's Australia. I won't be wearing that. But maybe dogs and a beach towel around my neck. Dogs are swimming shorts, board shorts. Yeah. I'm going to cut to a different video that I took yesterday. There were some doves sitting out on the fence, and when I say some doves, there were about 7 of them, I think. And they were so cute. They were all lined up, as you can see, just kind of hanging out in the rain under the tree. It almost seemed like there might have been some babies amongst them. And these could be the same doves that were around the house last year, nesting. So it's kind of funny to think it could be the babies that are growing up now, that have come back, maybe have their own little babies now. I'm not sure. I'm just hypothesizing a story. And that one on the left there, that's Frank. And next to Frank is Gillian. I'm just joking. But they're so cute. They were obviously trying to keep warm. They have their feathers all puffed up. These doves actually look quite a bit different to what I'm used to seeing back home. These ones are more grey in colour, and it's almost like their beaks are thinner. And the doves that I'm used to seeing are like completely white all over, and almost like a fuller looking face. model, so to speak. At some point during this video there is you can see them all kind of stand up and be alert. And I remember seeing quite a big bird flying over near where they were sitting. It might have been a crow perhaps, but they got on the lookout. And you can see them very distinctly lose their puffiness and their feathers as they become alert. And their feathers kind of become more smooth looking. It's really interesting, I've never seen that before. And then a few of them on the left, they kind of track this bird that was flying overhead. They're tracking it. You can see them blinking and then kind of moving their heads around as they follow it to make sure that they're safe. And then apart from that, they were just kind of preening and looking after themselves. But as far as winter goes, minus the little the snowfall, it hasn't been too cold compared to what I kind of witnessed last year. It was much colder feeling. Maybe I've just gotten used to it, I'm not sure. Or maybe still the cold is yet to come. Some of which I won't see as I will be away. They're very peaceful, these doves. Eventually they all just kind of flitted away. That tree has very distinct red berries on it, and by about March, a whole flock of birds will target the tree. There's another one in the yard as well, but they kind of suss it out first. They all go on lookout duty in a bigger tree in the next property over. And then all of a sudden they'll swoop and attack, absolutely obliterate the tree and steal all the berries. It's really fun to watch. I saw it happen last year. Sometimes I feel like I run out of things to talk about in these videos. I mean, the point isn't really to entertain you too much. The point is to try and help you relax or sleep. So I almost don't want to give you too much information that will overstimulate your brains while you're trying to relax. But I hope that wherever you are and whatever you're up to right now, that you're doing well. You're finding some time for yourself just to unwind. It's always good to do that. I have really been enjoying doing the live stream sessions. I've done a few of them now. if you haven't seen them, I just kind of sit down at the piano, play quietly, and interact with you guys in the chat. I'd like to get some more done as well. It's just finding the time between work and having a quiet house. It's quite a juggle sometimes to get those two things in order. But yeah, definitely like doing those and talking to you guys. It kind of makes it all feel a bit closer than like a one-sided conversation, like locking myself in a room and talking to a microphone. But I do very much appreciate you guys commenting and joining in the chat. My wife and I have actually wanted to kind of do one of those live sessions together. We just had some other kind of thoughts about what we want to do with it. Maybe either do some private sessions for anyone that might be interested, or kind of doing some like worship music together. Maybe my wife would sing or hum. I think that would be really, really nice. But yeah, just kind of figuring out how that could work and getting some time together that we can work on that. Yeah, I won't do this video for too much longer. I'll just go another minute or two. I'll be running out of video footage, so that's kind of my limit for this one in particular anyway. But I may have some time to do another video before we leave on our trip. Maybe a live session too. We'll see. It was interesting. I was just kind of sitting in the silence, and it's so quiet in my recording room. I could actually hear my heart beating. I could feel it and hear it beating. I've not noticed that before. Now it's making me feel a bit weird. Hope you don't mind the pauses and silent spots in the video. Personally, I like when people just have pauses in between what they're saying. Sometimes when I've been trying to fall asleep and there's the pauses, I don't know why, but it's a really good effect for me. You're kind of drifting off, and then you realize that the talking has stopped, and then they start talking again, and it just kind of, I don't know, almost reassures you in a way that they're still there. I don't think I've explained that very well, but maybe some of you will understand what I'm talking about. leave you with the silent images of the snow falling. It would have been nice to include some sound, but I was recording the video inside, indoors, so you really couldn't hear anything anyway. If I had thought about it, I could have put a microphone outside and recorded that, but I did not. Maybe if it snows again, I'll try that. Well, I hope that you are off to have a peaceful sleep and relaxing time. As always, thank you so much for listening and watching this video. I know it wasn't terribly entertaining, but as I mentioned before, that's not really the point, but I hope you found it relaxing, at least. I think this is the 9th year that I've been doing these videos, which is crazy. Time has flown, and so much has happened. And thank you to everyone that listens and has been listening over the years. Even though I don't post as much, I still really enjoy getting these videos out and interacting with you all. It really is. It's been a real blessing. Anyway, I've gone off on my little segue. I was saying goodnight, and I diverted. So I trust that you sleep well now, and I will talk to you all again, hopefully very soon. Good night, my friends.